hope you enjoyed the ride in. I'm here with my buddy Ron, and we're gonna do some camping this weekend, so it's time for more of the adventure part of Bearded Barbecue and Adventures. So come along with us as we get our campsite set up. We'll show you around as soon as we get it done. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead. We are gonna have a fire tonight. It is Texas and it is really hot. However, we want to keep those bugs away, so I've got this fire pit. We're gonna drop that down in there like that. Get it going with a tumbleweed. Some of the smoke will help with the bugs. We're almost done setting up camp, and we're about to crack open a beer too. What do you think about that, Ron?
I agree. It's Friday evening. It's about that time.
All right, let's do it. All right, everybody. I'll give you a little bit of a tour now that we're kind of done setting up our camp. You can kind of see it's on the it's called Briers Ranch. Ooh, look at that moon back there, and the sunset back this way is just something else. Anyway, this property is called Briers Ranch. I believe it's about 200 acres close to Anderson, Texas. And you can come out here on the property and you can scout your sites out and just kind of tent camp for the night. Or I'm sure you could bring a pop-up out here or whatever, but you can gather firewood. In fact, the spot that we chose actually has a picnic table on it already. And I brought a couple of my power supplies for camping, so we've actually got, if you can see right there, we've actually got our patio lights kind of strung up. But man, that sunset again, it's just absolutely gorgeous back there. I've got my tent set up over here. Ron's got his set up back that way. We've got our chairs, and then we do have a fire. It is in the middle of July and it's hot in Texas, but that smoke will kind of help keep some of the bugs down. We've already noticed a big difference, so we're pretty happy. It is hot, but the low tonight is supposed to be around 72. So we've got our sleep system set up in there. I've got my cot and a self-inflatable mattress pad in there. And then I have my Blue Eddy power supply in there, and it's gonna power me up a fan. And I think Ron's gonna have a battery powered fan in his. So we'll see how we fare tonight. We're kind of, we don't know. We figure that as far as July in Texas goes, this is gonna be about as good as it gets, getting in the low 70s. So we'll check back in with you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, and we're back. And after kind of exploring the place and watching the absolutely gorgeous sunset and just kind of getting our camp set up, like, it's a pretty cool little place. Yeah. Like, what's your first impressions like coming in?
This is a very private location for those of y'all that use the app, and I mean, this is you're definitely going to be left alone. I do think that he's definitely wanting to establish this place in the future, and you know, for future camping.
Yeah.
But you know, we're kind of part of the groundbreaking here, but really private area. There is definitely nobody around for a good ways.
Yeah, and we really, I think we are the only ones out here right now.
Yes,
we're definitely the only ones out here, and that's what we want, you know.
And I think in the state of Texas, we're the only ones tent camping in the state of Texas.
We're probably the only ones tent camping in the United States right now.
Yeah,
it's like it's hot, but you know, there's a slight breeze every once in a while. I'd say as we were setting up camp, it was hot. I was sweating, but as I'm sitting here, it's starting to cool off. Like it's not cool by any stretch of the imagination, but it's tolerable.
It is tolerable. Yeah. Once you finally, your body slows down and you're sitting still, you're able to handle it.
I think when you talk to future Ron and Don tomorrow when we wake up, there may be a different different story about sleeping tonight. But I think our goal is, or our plan is, stay up as late as we can so it gets as cool as it can get. Have the fans on and we should be good. But at any rate, it's that time where we're gonna sit here. We're enjoying being out here with nature. I was telling Ron earlier, sometimes I feel like when I go out and connect with nature, that puts me closer to God than like going to church. So to me, this is a very spiritual thing, and I enjoy it. So,
I agree.
yeah.
It's a great place.
So we've got a couple of different beers to try because, of course, when you're camping with your buddy, you're going to have a brew or two or three or four, probably.
Oh yeah.
So what have you got over there?
I'm bouncing back again on the Maui Brewing Company.
Which we discovered is not
Yeah.
actually in Hawaii.
Sadly,
right? Yeah.
some videos ago, a couple weeks ago, I guess,
Yeah.
we were like, wow, this is from Hawaii. No, it's in Boulder, Colorado.
Colorado. Yeah.
But I have been drinking this beer for a while. Really, I mean, their coconut stout is really good, and I had that years ago. That's kind of one of the beers that put them on the map. But right now, I got the Bikini Blonde Lager, and it's a kind of a light 4.8%.
Okay.
So I'm kind of rocking that right now. But
Okay.
yes, we had to make that correction.
Yeah,
because,
we had to figure that out because we were
when I
laughing
went
about
and-
that today.
Yeah. When I went and purchased this beer, I was like, wow, how did I miss that?
You know-
But it happens when you're a connoisseur of beer like myself. I don't use any kind of apps. Everything is all from memory. So sometimes things can,
You know what? We're only human. I think everybody out there has kind of made some.
yeah.
Some
all my beer knowledge
missteps.
comes from upstairs. So it's
right.
I don't have any notes or apps.
So you have a Maui beer.
So yeah, Maui Brewing. Yep.
And then I have Alaskan. So I have Wildness Alaskan cold beer. So I'm kind of excited about that. I can't see the ABV on it. I think earlier in the video I mentioned ABU. It was on the short. On the Frothy Friday short that I did, I said ABU.
Yeah.
Guys, forgive me. It's ABV.
Yeah.
Alcohol by volume, not alcohol by units.
They do have a term.
They have
called,
an IBU.
They do have an IBU.
That has to do with like the bitterness of the beer, right?
Honestly, IBUs, and I've heard specialists talk about it. IBU is something that people don't.
And nobody pays attention to.
Nobody even pays attention to it. So,
ooh, did you surprise me with a darker beer, or is it not? It doesn't smell dark.
No, I do. I think that one's a little bit on the lighter side. So, all right, we're gonna try it out.
Yeah, I just tried mine. It's got a hint of sweetness in there. I would love to know what the ABV is, but guys, I'm blind. Even though I brought, oh, here it is, 5%. It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
So, guys, you've seen some of my camping videos before. I brought my patio lights from home, and I have them plugged into this power supply over here, which is doing a really good job. And so Ron and I were laughing. I'm sorry to get off on a tangent here, but Ron and I were laughing like, we got like lights out here. We've got some power stations. We're trying to make summer camping as comfortable as we could possibly make it. So, but it doesn't get much better than cold beer and some lights so that you guys can see us. So
we I think we got a couple of good craft beers we picked out.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, brother.
Prost. Yeah. Okay, so what is something that surprised you? We've been talking about this for a week now. I kind of sprung it on you. I'm like, dude, I'm going camping. I want to film it.
Well, I've been watching the weather really closely, and one thing that we have noticed this year, this is not near as hot as last year.
No, you're right.
And so I do feel the heat is so much more forgiving this year. So I did take that into account. That was one of the reasons why I did say yes. If you would have asked me last year, I'd have told you not no.
I don't think I would have asked you last year. Yeah.
I don't think
hell no for me
anybody
too.
would have asked anybody.
Yeah.
But this year, so far, we're in the middle of July, getting towards August, towards August, and we haven't seen a day of 100-degree weather yet.
Mm-hmm.
We've been kind of maintaining, I think, the highs that we've seen in between 91 and 97 at the most. But you're talking last year, the 100-degree weather started toward the end of June. The rain stopped, and it was just miserable.
Yeah.
All the way until probably the end of October.
Well, half of my lawn died last year.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're walking on it, you could hear it crunching beneath your feet.
It was
like, there wasn't enough yard sprinklers that you could set out to do that would save that. It was bad. And the year before that was also bad. Yeah. This is the first. I don't even want this to roll off my tongue because I don't want it to jinx us. But like, this is the first. guys, yeah, mid 90s, mid to high 90s. That's considered mild in Texas, so I'm going to say that. This is the first mild summer we've had in some time.
Oh yeah. And so, kind of focusing on the weather the last couple of weeks, what we saw in June, I was like, you know what, let's do it. So,
Yeah.
but it's a big difference when you're dealing. Today, the high was about, I would say about 91, 90.
Yeah.
What
Low
I
90s.
noticed,
Yeah.
we did have a big rain on Wednesday.
It was
Two
overcast
days,
this morning
2 days
for quite
ago.
a bit.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was
That
overcast.
helped. Yeah.
But man, it just it felt great, and but I knew this year was so much different than the last couple of years that we've experienced. So we took advantage of it. I decided to take advantage of it. I'm glad I did, and it paid off. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna cook some food.
Yeah.
Have we do have a lineup of some really good craft beer that we've picked out. So we're gonna be just kind of grilling, cooking, and exploring.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing lots of fun stuff. And tomorrow we got here. We were not rushed, but we wanted to make sure that we got everything set up in time and that we had plenty of daylight. So we didn't really film the setup, but tomorrow we'll film some different things and we'll do some fun stuff. But I think next what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook some chicken. So we'll do that here shortly. I think what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna enjoy these brews.
I'm gonna enjoy this bikini blonde. Yeah, absolutely. Cheers.
See you guys in a bit. All right, y'all. It is time for chicken. I got a tumbleweed under there, and we've got a little chimney with some charcoal. And I've got a little basic charcoal grill out here. So we're gonna throw some chicken breasts on there, and we're gonna eat good tonight. All right, everybody. It is dinner time, and so we have picked up some chicken, pre-seasoned at the local grocery store, and we are going to have that tonight. So it's going to take probably a couple of rounds to cook all this. That's okay, we're ready. But most importantly, we hungry, right, Ron? Yep. Yeah, we are hungry. So we're going to go ahead and let that cook for a little bit and let you know how it turns out. All right, guys, it is chow time. You may see we've got a little bit of a smoldering fire just to kind of help with the bugs. You may see some of the smoke through the camera, but it's time to eat some of this chicken and potato salad. I love potato salad. Like if you're truly from the South, you're gonna love potato salad. If you don't love potato salad, you don't love Jesus. I think that's what it is. I'm gonna try some of this chicken.
It turned out good.
We've got our plasticware and our paper plates. Oh yeah. Sometimes when you buy pre-seasoned chicken, it can be bad or it can be really good.
I think it's all about the timing of cooking, especially when you're grilling chicken. A lot of people making the mistake, and I've done it a lot in the past, of overcooking.
Yeah.
You definitely want your chicken well done or completely cooked.
165 degrees.
But if you take it off at the right time, you get that nice juiciness.
So how'd I do?
Right on point.
All right.
Well, with this meal, I'm enjoying a nice Boston lager. Kind of polishing it off with this one. One of the favorites, Sam Adams. And it's been around for a while, about I would say about 20 years now. Really popular beer, and yeah, pairs really well.
I'm having a banana bread beer.
So we kind of went out on
not the best pairing for chicken, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, we're trying a lot of new brews out this weekend, so I kind of went above and beyond on a few of the selections, and just so happened he's holding a banana bread beer.
Yep, banana bread. I mean, you wouldn't think that banana bread and beer, but it works, I'm telling you.
It's amazing all the flavors that it's like there's unlimited doors to open, when it comes to brewing beer.
I mean, who can forget the infamous okra beer?
Oh yeah,
If you guys haven't watched it yet,
unlimited.
go back and watch. It was the 15 beer taste test, and we tried a lot of beer, 15 beers, but the okra beer, oh, it's like that's just barred in my memory. It's just it was so bad. I think CJ liked it.
He might have, or at
He
least
liked
he.
everything.
Yeah, that's CJ for you.
Hmm.
But yeah, I believe okra belongs on a grill or in a deep fryer.
It definitely
But
belongs
yeah,
in a
it
skillet.
definitely didn't belong in a
Yeah,
can.
doesn't belong in beer.
Yeah,
That's for
absolutely.
sure. Well, guys, we're gonna finish up our dinner here, and then we may try and get some shots of the moon because it's very, very bright tonight. And as we were watching the sunset, we were talking about, man, how bright that moon's going to be, and it'll just light up the night. So we may try and figure out a good shot for that after dinner. So see you after we finish this meal. So we've got a couple of full bellies.
We are completely full.
Yeah, chicken was good. There was way too much of that chicken. I think we each only ate one piece.
That's all it took.
Yeah, there
Really
were
was.
pretty big pieces. Like in the grocery store, it didn't look that big, but they were. So tonight, because we're out camping, because there's bugs and things like that, we've got something special. Ah, there's the punch cut.
There we
That's
go.
Ron's favorite. He loves the punch cut on these cigars. So we're going to enjoy some cigars.
He has the classic Obsidian Stout, and it's not real high on the ABV. It's about 6.5, so it's relatively, it's kind of toned down a little bit. But I actually saw something in the store while I was there when I saw the Obsidian Stout is a beer I haven't had from Deschutes. It's the same brewery, Deschutes, the Black Butt Porter. So I'm gonna be trying that. This one's a little bit lower in ABV, so it's gonna be about 5.5, a little bit lower. Punch cut Don just made right there. So we're gonna enjoy these cigars and kind of. I think it's gonna pair really well with the beers we have, and I hope Don enjoys the Obsidian Stout because it really it was a good favorite back
Hey,
back then.
you know what I always say with beer? If you go dark, stay dark.
Oh man, truer words ever spoken.
Yeah.
We are kind of actively sweating and actively hydrating ourselves. So kind of these are a couple of darker beers that are a little bit lower on the ABV, but I think they're a little bit on the mild side. But I think they'll be enjoyable. So.
I think the biggest thing is whenever you're out there, for the people that don't really know too much about beers like stouts and porters, they're a heavier beer. My brother used to always say when I drink a Guinness or something like that, he'd say, dang man, you can float a wrench in that. And they are a heavy beer, they're a thick beer. It's not something that you can go out and be like, hey man, I'm gonna toss back a few beers and it's gonna be those type. That's not the way you do it. You enjoy those one, maybe two at most.
Oh yeah.
It's usually at the end of the day
Yeah.
because they're very, very heavy. It's not a beer like a Miller Lite or a Bud Light or something like that you can enjoy just one right after the other. It's
Absolutely.
yeah. So what I'm doing now is I'm just toasting the cigar and just kind of prepping it. I've done a punch cut. That is Ron's absolute favorite. So I dug around and I found my punch cut and I brought it with us tonight so that he can
It's been a while since I had a cigar with a punch cut.
experience that.
But
So
yeah, that's awesome.
yeah. So I've got mine toasted. And let me go ahead and light it up, and then I'll let you toast and light yours.
Go ahead.
That is a really
It's got a good
cigar.
amber going there. Yeah.
It's a really good cigar. It's very, very smooth. Lighter's really hot. I filled that thing up today. Uh, you know, even in the summertime, there's just something about being out in the woods and just having a campfire. It's hot as all get out,
It is pretty
but
warm tonight. We have a good distance away from the fire,
yeah,
uh, but we actually have a very low, very contained fire. It just really, we only have like 4 logs minimum with a little bit of coals underneath. So it's not really that hot. Just enough for 2 people, really. Provide a little
yeah,
bit of light and a little bit of ambience.
and,
And
and some smoke to keep the
yep,
bugs away. That's kind of the
exactly.
big thing.
That is the big thing. It's kind of evening has ended and we're starting to get into the nighttime. We haven't really experienced too bad of mosquitoes yet, but like I said, we're trying to do our due
Oh
diligence.
man, winter chicken dinner right here, buddy.
Yeah, that was a very
Oh
popular beer.
yes,
I'm not gonna lie.
it tastes very
Yeah.
similar to a Guinness.
Oh yeah.
Let you
So
get
if
a
you've
good.
ever had Deschutes beer, the Obsidian Stout is one of the best. One of their great beers. Also is the Mirror Pond IPA, and it's really good. They also have a Fresh Squeeze IPA. Kind of has the hops, with the
Okay,
juice
yep,
coming down. It's in a like a turquoise looking 6-pack,
yeah,
cover, but really good beer.
guys. It's about 11:37 at night, and that's the moon. I said we try to get some moon shots. I don't know really how well it's going to hold up, but if you just kind of look around our campsite here, this is the field where we were, and then that's our campsite back there. Say hi, Ron. So we've had a really good night. It's starting to cool off a little bit, which is nice. And we were really enjoying just kind of looking at the moon. We're trying to look at some stars, but I tell you what, the moon is so bright. There's a few stars back up that way. I think maybe you can just barely make them out. It's easier to see them when they're not on camera. But we were kind of hoping to see some starry skies tonight. But you know what? Bright moon, beautiful sunset that we had, and pretty cool campsite that we've got over there. No complaints here from me. Well, I think that does it for tonight. We had a pretty good night out here, just relaxing, chilling, having a couple of brews, smoking a cigar, having a good grilled chicken dinner. It's cooling down. You can hear all the wildlife in the background, and my eyes are getting heavy. I think it's time to call it a night. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I think the stouts did us in.
Yeah,
They definitely do. That's their purpose.
yeah.
And
So
it's definitely almost room temperature, I would say. It's
yeah,
getting close.
it's getting there. It's in the mid 70s right now, and we'll be back in the morning having some coffee, and we'll let you know how we fared the hot July night in Texas. Good night. We'll see you in the morning. Oh, good morning, guys. I'm sure I don't look the best. We just woke up not too long ago, but I would have to say I slept pretty good last night. What about you?
Yeah, slept pretty good. Woke up my normal 1 or 2 times a night, and weather turned out pretty much room temperature
Yeah.
as it got really late.
I think my phone set was like 72 this
Yeah.
morning, which
Oh
felt
yeah.
good. I actually, my fan lasted all night, and then as it got just about started to get daylight, I got a little chilly, and I had to actually cover up.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I had
nice.
I had just a regular, bed sheet that I had, and I ended up putting it on, and I had a little small rechargeable fan, and it lasted all night. Kept it on low though.
Yeah,
But yeah, worked out good.
I blasted mine on high. In hindsight, I could have probably done low with that, but at any rate, it's probably about 7 something in the morning. I apologize for my hair, and I probably got bed beard. I don't know what you call it, bad beard day. Probably got that going on. That's all right. We're gonna enjoy our coffee. kind of talk about what the plans for the day are. So we'll bring you guys along with us when we decide. Well, guys, it is breakfast of champions this morning. I using the back of the Gladiator as a camp kitchen, and we've got some bacon going. Gonna do some scrambled eggs, and we're gonna have a good breakfast. All right, guys, we have got the bacon off, and it is time to add in some eggs. So we're gonna have us some scrambled eggs, and I always like to do it in the bacon grease, y'all. That just makes it taste so much better. There you go. What's up, guys? We haven't seen you since breakfast, and we've had kind of an interesting day. It's I think we covered this morning that we slept good last night. Even got a little chilly this morning, but we got up, we had our breakfast as you saw, and then we didn't do any videos on things that we did today, mainly because I was exploring the Cheeseburger Loop, which is a loop that goes around from like Montgomery through Anderson, into Huntsville, back down through Conroe. So it's kind of a dirt road, you know, trail that a lot of Jeepers will take and go on. So we wanted to check that out today, because that'll be a video for another time. But we just kind of wanted to explore it. We explored probably, I'd say probably a fourth of it probably.
Yeah.
And it was pretty interesting. Got some scenery, and we just kind of enjoyed ourselves. So we just kind of spent the most of the day just kind of hanging out, running the roads. And then we topped it off with lunch at
Imbo's.
Yeah.
Yeah, right in between Iola and Anderson on 244.
Yeah.
Little, they serve a lot of American food with a little bit of Cajun.
Felt like home, y'all.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
You can't find, like I, as most of you know, I grew up in South Louisiana. I was born and raised in Louisiana. And you can't always find good Cajun food here in Texas. You can sometimes, and Imbo's is one of those places where it's pretty good. I've had the alligator there before. Crawfish is a little out of season right now. It's a little late for that, way late for that. So we couldn't have anything like that. But I had the catfish, which was good, and you had the fried pork chop, right?
Fried pork chops.
Yeah, with
mashed
brown
potatoes,
gravy.
Brown gravy.
It's making me jealous over there, man.
The batter they had was very Cajun, you know, breaded batter for the pork chops. You could definitely tell it had some Cajun enthusiasm in it, and it was good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So we figured we just want to check in, just kind of let you know how the camping trip's going so far, and it's going good. And I don't really think we have much planned for the rest of the night. We're going to make some steaks, and we're going to attempt to cook asparagus, though I don't have any foil. So I'm kind of thinking in my mind how I'm going to cook. Probably going to use the cast iron skillet and cook it up in there. And that'll be a segment for a little bit later. And then I think we're just going to kind of enjoy some brews and enjoy the breeze and enjoy another beautiful sunset. Another night in nature.
Yeah. We did get lucky. The high today was about 92, so I do believe it's probably going to be somewhat of the same weather this evening. So we're going to try out a few new beers this evening and really enjoy them.
I'm drinking one we didn't showcase yesterday. We talked about it. It's the Breckenridge Vanilla Porter.
And I got my favorite beer from Holland, Grolsch. One of the best.
Is this one of those beers that we said is from Holland, but it's really from like Detroit?
No,
Okay, this one's really from Holland.
No. I actually made sure of that this time. Learned my lesson.
Yeah. So anyway, we're just kind of relaxing. That's what this trip is about. Just kind of getting out with nature and enjoying it and seeing, can you tent camp in Texas in the summer? We'll see you guys at dinner here in a bit.
Stay tuned.
All right, everybody. We're going to have a fire again tonight because that was very helpful last night in quelling the mosquitoes. So Ron and I processed some wood earlier today. There's our starter pile. And then I also used my knife and I split down some little logs, and I made these little offshoots here. Kind of help the fire get going a little bit better. You just want the smoke real good, so get that going before dinner. All right, everybody, we are now gonna cook our steaks and our asparagus, and we're gonna be using, I'm not gonna say this on camera, I'll just show you to you, this special stuff. That's supposed to be good for veggies and other things. I use the vegetable sprinkle when it comes to the asparagus, and I've sprayed the pan down with some canola oil. So we're just going to cook this asparagus down and then get ready to throw our steaks on there. So while I'm seasoning the steaks, Ron is going to talk about the seasoning that I'm using. Big Daddy T's grilling seasoning. So tell us where this came from, Ron. How'd you find it?
My neighbor right next door, he likes to make his own seasoning. It has a really good kind of a barbecue, a little sweet. It's gonna have a little sweet twang to it, and we're gonna see how it goes. And Trevor's a good friend of mine, a glorified appliance repairman, urgent care appliance repair. Give him a call, Google, in the Bryan College Station area. But yeah, we're gonna check out his seasoning and give it a go.
All right, guys, we'll put these steaks on momentarily and we'll get to it. All right, Ron's is going on first. Oh, who doesn't love the sound of a steak sizzling in a frying pan? We just flippity-doo-dah'd one steak. Don't y'all wish y'all were here eating one? Last two steaks are on. Ron's is cooked to a perfect medium. A little bit of pink in there. I like mine a little bit more on the done side. Still mooing. Less on the done side. I don't like it on the done side. What am I saying? I want it still mooing. I want it rare. Right, guys, we've got our steaks, we've got our asparagus, and we've got our potato salad. So now the moment of truth.
We're gonna enjoy this meal, guys.
All right. I think after the meal tonight, I think it's bedtime for us. It's been a day. Dealing with the heat during the day. We did a lot of driving around. So we'll see you guys in the morning. Let's finish up this meal, man. I'm starving.
Let's eat.
Welcome back, guys. That is a wrap. I think we're going to end this video here. We've gone ahead. We got everything loaded up. We had a good breakfast this morning. Had another good cup of coffee. And I think that's going to do it for this camping adventure. So until next time, we'll see you guys behind the grill or behind the wheel.